Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of What's Up Talk Show. Now it's 2022. Today is January 3rd. And how are you guys? So I don't have a topic here. In fact, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared. So what are we going to do today? So you guys have a topic? I mean, not topic suggestion, but like actually, if you have seen lots of my videos, what questions you have to ask me or pick a topic from my topic notes. So I wasn't prepared today, so I went to sleep. Like I woke up just a bit before. So, but I have a lot to do, like tons to do. So let's do some. Okay. So, my God, my arm hurts. The RSI here, it's so bad. It's like it hurts right now. Typing too much and getting old. So this is my Kinesis Advantage 2, and this is my Ultimate Hacking Keyboard on top. And so as there's a question. You didn't watch my videos. The link 0998. The link. Are you the link from Russia? So the Advantage 360. I talked about. So actually, I cannot. Tell you what's going on, but until because they are not, the final product is not ready yet. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm not going to do like unboxing like I talked about last time until they release it. So but you can trust me, so you can buy this one or the new one. Either one is good. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. You can buy this one, Kinesis Advantage 2, or you can buy the Advantage 360. Both are good. Okay, so apparently they started pre-order, and the pre-order is already sold out. It's sold out in 30 minutes. It's amazing. But I want to tell you another keyboard I highly recommend. Okay, but I didn't have a chance. They sent it to me, but I didn't have a chance to talk about it too much. That is this one. Okay. So let me. So that's the Xpose. Okay, I got the new one, Xpose Lite. Okay, let me take. Good morning from Italy. Good morning, Italy. So, can you see it? There it is. No, you cannot see it. Okay, so this is the Xbox Lite. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I cannot see it myself. Okay, it's a bit dusty. So this Xpose. Okay, so. Actually, it's dusty. So the Xpose, I always love the Xpose. So I would highly recommend Xpose. I mean, my favorite is the Kinesis Advantage and the Xpose. So they sent me a new one. This is the Xpose Lite. So this is the new one, actually, Xpose Keyboard Lite. So this one. And it's fantastic, except they sent me the wrong key switch. This is brown. But because I type so much, I got RSI, so I cannot use the brown as my daily driver. Because of you keyboard makers, you send me something, it got be red switches, linear light red switches. Then I can put it here, I can use it daily. Then I can help you sales. So so Xpose is really great. I haven't had time to send me a message. They sent me the wrong one, so I can't use it. Try DWM tag methods. Do what I mean tag methods. So what does that mean? What's a DWM do? Is that DWM the tiling window managers, or does that mean do what I mean? So what is a tag method? I don't know what's that. So I want to do some coding. Okay, so too bad I'm not prepared today. So let's talk random then, coding. So you guys don't have a topic. That's always the case. So R Brown's too heavy for you. That's true. I talked about this many times. How did you get RSI from them? I talked about that many times. Okay, so you guys watch my videos in the past 2 months. Okay, there's a lot. You should watch them. So one of the questions, I thought the brown ones were good for typing. Yeah, that's the intro information to mechanical keyboard users. That's what I thought too, which are kind of true. It's fine until after 10 years then. So okay, so basically, okay, so there's a question about key. Let me tell you about the mechanical key switches. Okay, so let me give you a basic. So you go to XR keyboard, just search for it. Then you have design flaws. You have key switches. This page introduces you about key switches, what they are from, you don't have to be an expert, you can just read this page. So keyboard key switch mechanisms, the most popular is the rubber dome, and this one, the rubber dome mechanism, break your fingers. And on laptops, similarly, you have rubber dome, but you have the scissor mechanism, that's called scissor switch. Okay, that also sucks. Okay, I got the Mac. Okay, let me show you again. So I got a Mac Air. This is M1 MacBook Air. Fantastic. A computer without a fan. Okay, so let me open it. A computer without a fan. You see, Apple design is just fantastic. Okay, but the keyboard is much better than their previous. The Apple without Steve Jobs, they started to do idiotic things. Okay, so there's a lot of digression. So let's talk about randomish. Kasar does not want the workspace. That's right. So you guys, instead of just popping a question to me, watch my old videos, because because the same question every day is gonna be the same question. So so let's go to talk show. So we talked about keyboard mechanism. We're gonna finish it, but before we do that, so let me show you the Apple design crap. Okay, so all about keyboard design issues. Then you have some of the fantastic idiocy of Apple. Okay, the word Apple is the greatest design. But in the past several years, like almost 10 years since Steve Jobs is gone, you got this crap, dongle hell. Okay, dongle hell. And, these dongles usually, if you buy Apple's version, it costs you like 2 or 3 times more expensive. Dongle hell. Then you have this extreme idiocy, the mouse. And then you have this idiocy. And then you have this touch bar idiocy, So Apple created, tremendous engineering into the touch bar and into the Mac OS documentation, the dev, tremendous time spent on this extreme idiotic fuck. This is what happens to nerds without Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is a guy who truly understands design, what people need. I talked about I've been an Apple user since 1992, so there's lots of history. Lots of things you are using now is because of Apple. Thank Apple. Thanks Steve Jobs. The mouse, the GUI, the USB, the CD drive, the DVD drive. That's all thanks to Apple. The speed, the wireless. Thank you Apple. You gotta thank Apple, because Apple has always been the first to put it on their computers, all of their computers. Then after 2 or 3 years, then the Windows or the Linux is the most extreme idiocy. After 2 or 3 years, or even 5, Then the PC started to, we actually need USB on our machine. We need Wi-Fi built-in, But Apple, so Apple began the revolution, then after several years, the rest of the industry followed. But in the past, since the Steve Jobs died, sadly Steve Jobs died. Okay, so let me show you some of the articles I actually talked about, but several. Okay, so here is Richard Stallman on Steve Jobs' death. Richard Stallman has become a scum. Okay, so that's one of the article. So Steve Jobs died in 2011, almost 10 years ago exactly. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk about that. So this is Steve Jobs. He died in 2011. Steve Jobs is one of the guy, I talked about this many times in one of my video. Okay, so who do I admire in the industry, in computer industry? Steve Jobs, Stefan Wolfram, and few others. Okay, but these two are the primary. So I've been following Steve Jobs since 1991. Okay, when I was a student, I read a lot about Steve Jobs. So what's this guy doing? So I admired this guy. So Steve Jobs. Okay, so he died 2011, and this is a screenshot. So this is a record of history, screenshot of Apple website during at the time. Okay, 2011. Then here is Google. So you can see Google also, had a tribute to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, 1955 to 2011. Now Steve Jobs is an orphan. Okay, he's a he's an orphan. So anyway, so then Steve Jobs. So this guy really got a vision. Okay, so let's turn on JavaScript. Let's see, Steve Jobs 3 months before he died. So this is you can see Steve Jobs before they built the Apple UFO building. So if you don't know, so Steve Jobs, this is Mountain View or Santa Clara. He went to the city.
Hewlett and Packard were my.
So this is 2011, the year he died. Just a few months ago. So he is talking about building this UFO, Apple UFO building. He has to get permission from the city council. So this is kind of his last appearance in public. This Apple Vision UFO building. Okay, so I have a video there. Then the Unix fuckheads, the Linux fuckheads. Okay, let me tell you, I talked about this a year ago on my video. Okay, one of the problem with doing YouTube video is that today there's so many, like a few thousand per second. Every second there's a few thousand hours of video. So one of the problem is that if you are a YouTuber, you talk about certain topics, people cannot watch every one of your videos. There are thousands of other people, right? So one of the occurring, people, so people you might find my videos, maybe a month ago, you like it very much, but then you have some questions, according to my content, then you ask those questions, I already talked about that 10 times, in the past years. So that's often the problem to other YouTubers as well, because, many YouTubers, they've been doing it for 10 years. They are much more popular than me, and, you all have the same problem. So anyway, Steve Jobs, this is the Unix fuckheads and Linux, they are brainwashed, they're idiocy, okay? Their brain don't know what's going on. So when Steve Jobs died in 2011, this meme, the Millennium idiot fuck meme, pops up over. You see this every day on Reddit, on Hacker News, on Twitter. And not just that year, after, next year, you'll see this again. Then the Linux idiots, they spread it all over. So this meme says, become a hipster, sell stolen ideas, Steve Jobs, praised by media as Jesus of computing. This according to these Linux idiots, fuckheads, extreme idiots, the fucking fuckheads. Not just idiots, they are morally fucked too. Okay, so they say this, they say Steve Jobs, he's just a clown stealing people's ideas, but however, he's admired by the media. Okay, that's what the Unix fuckheads say, these idiots. Then, adjacent to it, they say the Denise Ritchie, who invented C and Unix, ignored these Linux idiots. So what am I? Denise Ritchie also died in 2011. Okay, so as you get old, a lot of people they die. Even including the stars, the singers, the rock and roll bands or whatever. All the people you die as you get older. But anyway, these two died in the same year, 2011. So these Linux idiots posted these things over. So let me talk about this. Let me address these idiots' brain. Okay, so do you know how many mathematicians that created without them you don't have people going to the moon, you don't have airplane, you don't have cars, you don't have engines, you don't have nothing, you don't have computers. Mathematicians, okay? How many of them died that you are aware of in the past decade? Okay, so if you want to think of like this, so all those mathematicians from a human animal history contribution point of view, if you want to compete, if you want to rank their importance, their contribution to the history of human animals, 2,000, 3,000 recorded history, 4,000 recorded history, plus 100,000 more human animal history. At least 3,000 or 4,000 years of them are recorded, by a writing system of human animals. So, of all this human in a human animal history, if you wanna rank their contributions to the prosperity of human animals, how many mathematicians do you know? You fucking Unix fuckheads, okay? So those mathematicians who died in the past 10 years, almost every one of them is more important than the Denise Ritchie fuckhead. Then how come you don't see a meme that says, the Denise Ritchie invented C and Unix, he become a god among the Unix fuckheads. But however, let's say Coxter, okay, there's quite a lot. Let's say Coxter, okay, the Canadian geometer mathematician. Let's say Conway, John Horton Conway, okay. Let's say there's quite a lot, So they created things that is far more significant than this fucking engineer, this mere engineer, So where are they? So how come you don't see a meme about that? Okay, that's my point. So these Linux idiots memes are over, okay? And by the way, John McCarthy also died that year, I believe, something like close, okay? When did he pass away? Yeah, also in about the same year. But no mention of it. John McCarthy, the guy who created Lisp. Okay, and John McCarthy is also a pioneer of artificial intelligence, that the technology you guys are all driveling about every day, machine learning, artificial intelligence. John McCarthy, who created Lisp, he's a guy, he's a pioneer of artificial intelligence. Okay, at this relates to lots of things, lots of my topics about keyboard, about the origin of the Alt key. Okay, let's digress. Okay, and about Emac Lisp and about Richard Stallman, they all related. Okay, so let's go to Ergo history. Let's go to history. Okay, so you see this keyboard. So cell keyboard. This is the first Lisp machine keyboard. I mean, this is the father of Lisp machine keyboard. Okay, so so let me show a few photos of it, and these photos are taken by the keyboard history expert Marcin Wykery. Okay, he used to work at Google. I don't know about now, but he's the one who created Google Pac-Man. Google Doodle, Google Pac-Man. Yeah, I'm typing in Chinese. Pac-Man. Yeah, so there. Okay, so what? So anyway, so these photos are created by this guy, Marcin Wykery. He's a keyboard history expert, and he's also a JavaScript expert, among other things. Okay, so he published, I don't know if it's out yet, he is writing a book on keyboard history. Maybe it's out already. So let's search for keyboard history. So maybe he has a book. Okay, why is it archive? So I haven't been in contact with him for a couple of years. So he's writing a book on keyboard history. But now apparently his website is now archived. So I don't know what's going on about his. But anyway, so he wrote that, and all these photos are by him. Okay, so this is the granddaddy of Lisp keyboard. Okay, but let me show you. So all these are Lisp keyboards. So the one you are familiar with the most is probably this one, Space Cadet keyboard. Space Cadet, because it's the most dramatic. Okay, so let's go back. So I want to say, so the Alt key came from this keyboard. The idea of the window key or the Mac command key, and those keys originated, basically those extra modifiers originated with this. So in the beginning you have the Shift key, then basically in this order. Okay, in the beginning you have the Shift key first, which is all important because you need capital letters. Shift key, then you have the Control key. Control key is all important because you need to send control characters. It's not just about typing, because there's transmission, communication. You need, you are a programmer. You need to send those control characters. So let me copy the link. Not here. Okay, so keyboard blog, close. Cell keyboard. Okay. Then Cadet keyboard, then I want to go to Lisp machine keyboard. Okay, so go all the way down. So I also talked about this in a full video, like for an hour. So let me show you. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about this. Okay, so but let me just copy, paste some of the links. So here's a list of all the Lisp machine keyboard and their year. Where is it? Stupid Vivaldi browser still have the URL not update problem. So here's a summary of what we talked about. So let me clean up this page. Okay, so let me get back to, so any common questions posted. Okay. post it and tag my name to it, and pay me. Okay, pay me. Pay me. That's what I'm doing videos for. You see the Vivaldi URL not update problem. So now I got 2 of these. Fuck Vivaldi. Pro book review. Ocamo sucks. Ocamo. Okay, so lots of other things. Expose. So did we paste expose? Okay, expose keyboard. To do keyboard mechanical switches. We're gonna talk about that. We haven't finished yet. So design of computer keyboard. Copy it. Put it here. Close that. Keyboard switch mechanisms. Yeah. Then Apple, the Apple idiocy in design. Okay, so we haven't finished this keyboard, and and this video is funny. This apparently this is a filmmaker. Okay, I don't know who he is, but he's a Oscar award winner. So he talked about Apple keyboard. He's dissing Apple keyboard. So funny.
They are impossible to run.
So you should go check out this one. So Apple had these idiotic designs without Steve Jobs, this touch bar. But finally, and they also created this butterfly keyboard key switch. Okay, but finally, from last year, 2020 or 2021, they realized their mistake. So you no longer have these butterfly key switches, and you no longer have this Apple touch bar. That's idiocy supreme. So let's paste that. So Apple, so without Steve Jobs, they become pretty bad. Okay, so Richard Stallman and Steve Jobs. Okay, so we had that. The day Steve Jobs died. Okay. Then what's this? Then the Apple UFO building. That's the last public video of Steve Jobs, just a few months before he died. Oh, then this. When I see this, I'm angry. This is a Unix Linux propaganda. Very popular, among you Linux people, very popular. When you see this, your reaction is like, oh, this is so true. This is so true. I need to spread it. This idiot spreading false information. The Linux Unix people, propaganda. And also, mixed among them is the open source fanaticism. Why? Because they don't have to pay. Free. It's free. By day they say, oh, it's about freedom. It's not about money. It's about morality and ethics. We must be good people. We must share. By night they steal movies. Hollywood movies. Oh, I'm gonna steal it. I'm gonna steal Microsoft font because on Unix you don't have good fonts. I'm gonna steal. Then they chant by, oh, information, good things are free. Good things are free. No, it's about money. All good things in the world is free. Water and air, those are free. This Unix, Linux, open source fuckheads, liars and scums. That's many of you guys. Okay, then here is a few videos, photos I have. About Steve Jobs, okay? So this is 2001 when Apple Store, when Apple made the news again that they are going to actually opening a store, brick and mortar store, mortar or however you pronounce it, store. 2001, that's a year when all the brick and mortar stores are closing down because of the internet. But Steve Jobs went the other way. He says, oh, we are going to start to opening stores. So 2001 is a year Apple began the Apple Store throughout USA, then throughout the world. So I went there with my friends, Brian Nakamoto. this is around year 2000. So I was working, in the .com days. So I went there, and saw Steve Jobs. This is the Apple store in Palo Alto, okay, just nearby. So we took a few photos of Steve Jobs. Okay, so that's Steve Jobs, 2001. Then you have this iMac, the first product that, again, kind of revolutionized the computing world. Color, computer with color. Okay, so iMac. Okay, lots of digressions. Then we were talking about cell keyboard. Okay, so this keyboard is origin. Oh yeah, we were talking about John McCarthy. Okay, so what's John McCarthy's role here? So this keyboard is the daddy of Lisp keyboard. Before Lisp keyboard were born. Okay, so first of all you have the sales keyboard, then you have the night keyboard, which is not yet official. So this is the granddaddy of Lisp keyboard. So the night keyboard borrowed a lot from the sales keyboard. The SAIL stands for Stanford AI Lab. Stanford is right here, 10 minutes drive, okay? So Stanford AI Lab, and that lab is created by John McCarthy. That lab is created by John McCarthy, the creator of Lisp, who died in the same year or about the same year as Steve Jobs and Dennis Ritchie. Okay, but nobody mentioned it. These Linux fuckheads. Okay, nobody know. But then they need to say this because they feel injustice. Okay, so John McCarthy, the pioneer of AI and Lisp, in the early days, in the 1970s, 1980s, okay, when you say AI, it's all about Lisp. Lisp and AI are intertwined, okay, Lisp, the language. So John McCarthy created the Stanford AI Lab, and this is the keyboard from there, SAIL, okay, dated in 1970, or maybe a few years earlier. So, and this is also the keyboard that is the father of the Mac command key or the Windows key. So the order is Shift key first, then Control key, Shift, then Control, then Shift, then Control, then Meta. Okay, Meta eventually became the Mac's command key. It borrowed, by inspiration. So Shift first, then Control, then Meta, then you have Alt. Okay, you see on this keyboard you don't have. Do you have an Alt? You don't have an Alt yet. So you have to wait until the night keyboard. Let's see. Wait. So let me go to. So I'm kind of jumping over. So let's go to the night keyboard. Do you have a Alt key here? So let's magnify. You don't have an Alt key. So you have Meta, Control, Shift, then you have Top, which is kind of another Shift, but you don't have Alt, okay? Oh, you have Alt here, okay? So back then, that Alt is, as far as I know, that Alt, the functionality is actually, that Alt is actually just Escape. Kind of like today's Escape, but it also has Escape. I don't know exactly how it works. Some people, some of the, I know some people lost this guy, okay? This guy who dug into the history of, he's fascinated with this keyboard, especially these machines. So he dug into lots of the history. So if you want to learn about these machines, you go to his website. He has lots of info, and he also has a GitHub. Okay, just follow the links and you'll see. So he told me several, some answers about keyboard I have. He answered them. So then you have Alt. Then you have essentially. Then you have the Mac command key. Then on Windows, you have the Windows key. And Windows also invented the menu key. Okay, so I have an article on all those, but I'm not gonna show it. So we were talking about some of the keyboard history and John McCarthy. So what else? So Knight keyboard. Okay, let's copy that. So any comments? Okay, no comments. Okay, I don't know. I'm doing good. Is this a good talk show or not? Because I've just been rambling, and I in fact talked about this before. So there's Google Doodle. So let's copy it. Google Doodle. The proper order is here. Okay, close Google Doodle. Okay, so I want to mention this guy who created, he is writing a book about keyboard history, expert of keyboard. Then, okay, close that. Knight keyboard. Okay, so what is this? Yeah, Space Cadet, the most famous. Okay, so what is so let's finish the topic we began. We haven't finished yet. So just know that this design, the Apple Touch Bar sucks, is very bad, and also the butterfly key mechanism also very bad. They are no longer there. So the new MacBooks, they don't have that anymore. Okay, and the M1 chip I talked about. The M1 chip, Apple's M1 chip, that's a revolution. I would say Apple's M1 chip is one of the significant revolution in computing CPU industry history, and also in CPU history, okay, significant. It's just fantastic. It's like few times better than Intel's or AMD because they are part of the, also they are significant from the industry, CPU industry point of view, because it changes the market, there's a significant impact. So I think, it's significant in historically significant even. So that's one thing. It's significant in the CPU industry point of view. However, it is also, in my opinion, it's also significant from the CPU design point of view. I mean, M1 is not like completely new, but however, Apple, because it's a commercial, it's one of the big commercial entity in the CPU, related to the CPU business. And now Apple became part of one of the CPU maker. So, and this chip is why it's significant in the CPU design, because it revolutionized. I believe it's a milestone that drives the beginning downfall of the Intel's x86 architecture. Okay, so this is a technical point of view. So it relates to CPU design and lots of computer science, okay, hardware computer science, like how computer works, CPU, how do you design them, what is the, architecture and so on. So I think the M1 chip is just fantastic. Okay, so maybe that's it for today. Okay, so I wanted to do some coding, but let me finish this part about the keyboard mechanical switch. So you have the RoboDome, you have the scissor switch, no good. Scissor switch for laptop, no good. Then the most popular mechanical switch are the Cherry MX. Okay, so there's various, there are different types. one category of types is linear, meaning that when you press the key down, there's no resistance, like smooth, linear, okay? Then another type is tactile or clicky, like when you press down, there's click or you can feel a bump. So Cherry MX, Cherry is a company's name in Germany, and they make these keyboard switches, and these switches, their model is MX, okay, Cherry MX, and they are color coded according to their type, whether they are linear or they are tactile or clicky, and they have a force, specification for the force required to activate the key. That's the simplified version, okay? So this is the most common, most popular. So Cherry switches has been around, they began in 1983, okay? So it looks like that if you take them out and put them apart, okay? And here's the diagrams of their mechanism. This is Cherry red, okay? So which one do you like? There's no universal answer, okay? Which one is the best? Because some people like linear, some people like tactile, and some people prefer strong resistance. Some people prefer light keys. Depends on your muscle, depends on each person's biology. Okay, no comments today. So how many people are watching? 12. Actually more than what I usually have. So comment questions. Ask me questions. I'm gonna shut down, okay? I didn't get to do code. Actually, I wanted to code. I want to code my website, So then you have optical switch. So since we are okay, wait. This is not optical. This is the okay. So in this picture, you are seeing the mechanism of the Cherry MX red. Okay. So the word mechanism here refers to the tactile mechanism, not the electronic on-off mechanism, okay? So usually when you say mechanical key switch, the mechanical part, it refers to the mechanism of the tactile key aspect of it, okay? The key sensation, how it feels when you press it down. That's what the mechanical means, mechanical switch, usually, okay? So here the picture shows the mechanism of how the linear switch works. So you can see it's different from the brown. The brown switch, Cherry MX brown, is tactile. So you have this bump, you can see right there. That's how it creates this tactile sensation. Then blue is also tactile, but it makes an audible click, very sharp, like click, 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 tick, 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 tick. So the word mechanical usually refers to the tactile sensation part. Okay, that's important. But however, this diagram shows you the actual electrical mechanism of the switch. So it's based on contact. So when you press it down, the spring closes, it touch each other. So that's the electrical aspect. So this is important to know. This is analysis of the language of the jargon. Mechanical switch. So mechanism. So there's a electronic mechanism, switch mechanism. There's a tactile sensation mechanism, which you shouldn't call it a switch, but it's because it's actually not a switch. The electronic, that's a switch. So this is a kind of misnomer, kind of like when you say Cherry MX switch, the mechanical switch, the mechanical is actually not a switch. That's just the mechanism for the tactile sensation, okay? Then in the past 10 years, beginning 2010 or so, actually beginning in 2015, you started to have lots of other key switches from China, okay? Because apparently the Cherry MX switch patent they expired. So you started to see lots of clones from China, and in fact they are actually better. They are better and cheaper. The China cheaper is overtaking the world. They are actually better and cheaper. That's what I claim. When it first came out, people don't know. Like we don't know. China, they made it. They are cheaper. Maybe because they are bad quality. It turns out not really. Now after 10 years, we know. Not a lot of people. They doesn't mean it's bad quality. These are good. Okay. So, but in the keyboard market, sometimes you'll hear, we use the genuine Cherry MX. Some like when you look into the keyboard, many of these, for example, the normal keyboard, so all these, these commercial keyboards, sometimes they will say we use the genuine Cherry MX switches. Then other times you will see they say we use the improved, the better, even better than the modern, the newer version of mechanical key switch that's even better than Cherry MX. They will say that, which is actually true in my opinion. It's actually true. But they are pretty much the same, okay? But then, so in the past 5 years, you see lots of. Then you started to see box switch. They are all from China. Almost, China taking over. So you started to see lots of new switches, box switch, chocolate switch, thin profile. Then Roman G switch from Logitech. Then you have optical switch. Okay, let me talk about this a lot. When I see, when I talk to the keyboard community, the optical switch, they don't get any press. Okay, like nobody is talking about them. To me, this is significant. To me, this is fantastic. Okay, optical switch. But apparently, you don't hear them much. They are not excited. Rather, these idiots, they are excited about the Topre switch. Where is it? They are excited about the Topre switch. This is the one the keyboard idiots talks all the time, non-stop. The Topre happy hacking keyboard, Topre switch. I tried it. It's garbage. It's shit. I don't like it. I even prefer Topre switch is very expensive. You buy Topre keyboard, they cost. David, thank you for $5. Pound, euro, fantastic. Thank you. That gets me a burrito. So any other questions, David? So any questions? Okay, thank you, David. So I want to say, so you see this keyboard, for example, happy hacking, $300, fucking sucking blood sucker. This blood sucker crap, $300. But this one is actually 350 something. Let's see, $356 from Japan. Happy hacking Topre switch. The crap. If this is $100, I don't want it. Throw it in the garbage. Fuck idiot. Happy hacking, but lots of the keyboard nerds love it. Well, in part because the Topre switch, it became a meme. Topre switch among the keyboard community. Topre switch is kind of the meme. Okay, so all these keyboard very expensive, and the Leopard, the Leopard from Korea, this one, also using Topre switch. I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it at all. I don't want it. So we were talking about, so let me talk about the optical switch. So then you started to have optical switch. Okay, so actually, let me copy my pages. So happy hacking and Topre switch, keyboard switch mechanism, Topre switch, open it. Okay, so you see the fucking Vivaldi open source fuck. The URL is wrong. Of this page, the URL is not that. because it failed to update. But now if I refresh, you can see the URL change. Right now it says keyboard switch mechanism. Now if I refresh, now it's keyboard with Topre switch. You see, fuck the open source. Maybe I should start, maybe I should stop using Vivaldi now. Yeah, maybe. I keep switching, the browsers. This URL field not updating, it's been around since like 3 or 4 months now. By now it's four months old, still bug. So Topre switch, happy hacking keyboard. So we were talking about, okay, so so I want to talk about optical switch. So let me show you optical switch. So today, we already have it. So I think optical switch is great technological advance in my opinion, because usually I focus on design. I want the design elegance. I want the proper design. I don't want hack. The Unix, Linux, fuck, C, fuck, hack. The hack is what they do. Oh, we are hack. I don't like hack. I want proper design. So in my opinion, I think the optical switch is great. It's fantastic. However, I never have a chance to use it. So there are a few and turns out they are pretty cheap. They are actually not more expensive than Cherry MX switches. So there's a video from the commercial video. Okay, anyway, so optical switch, and you can buy these cheap, $50 or something. There are different optical switches, okay? So speaking of optical switch, let me also mention, let's go to my blog. So this keyboard switch expert. Now there's a keyboard switch expert. This guy, let me show you where, okay? Where is it? Here. So this Quiro strong. Thomas, Thomas. Thomas, stupid YouTube name. But Thomas something, okay? This guy is a keyboard key switch expert. At least as far as popularity goes on YouTube, he's probably the #1 expert on keyboard key switches, not anything else. Remember, this is important. When we are in the keyboard community, do-it-yourself, ergonomic and key switch, keycaps technology, key labeling technology, and so on. He is the expert focusing on the keyboard switch mechanism. That he's the expert, He's probably the top 1 even. Okay, I respect his opinions. So he recently did a review, like just this week, of the truly ergonomic Cleve keyboard. This, I'm not going to comment much about this keyboard. Okay, but anyway, so this keyboard uses optical switch. Okay, that's a good part. But I believe this keyboard got other issues. One of the issues is that you cannot program the key. You can only program these keys in the middle, and you cannot program other keys. Now that sucks. And this keyboard is $350. Okay. So I don't think it's a good. I think it's a great design. It's a great design, but it's got major problems. $350. For $350, you can buy Kinesis. You can buy any of these, okay? You can buy Kinesis, you can buy Ergonomic, you can buy Expose, you can buy 2 of them, you can buy a Digma, okay? All these are better. You cannot buy this one. This one is $550. This Israel from Japan. This is great. Anyway, so the Truly Ergo Cleve, it's great keyboard, but $350 too much. And also, major flaw is that you can only program this about these 6 keys in the middle. You cannot program other keys. It sucks. Cannot possibly, you cannot possibly do this when you have a new design like that. Anyway, so I'm not gonna talk too much about this keyboard. But the guy who sent me the previous one, that's a revolution in keyboard industry. Okay, that is true. Okay, the previous model, this one came out in 2011, 2013. This one, it was announced in 2010 also, and came out in 2013. This is the first keyboard that began the kind of the popularization of mechanical ergonomic keyboard in the past decade. This keyboard essentially began it. Okay, and this is great. Okay, but now this is even better. This design-wise, it's even better, and key switch is also better, much better optical. But however, you can only program the middle 6 keys. That sucks donkey ass. And also they what's the other issue? Yeah, 350. That's not worth it. Okay, so anyway, so the guy, he
At least a little bit, I figure out.
He did a video on this. Okay, fantastic. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Bye guys. I'm gonna shut down in 5 minutes. Random. So we talked about lots of random things today. So let's clean up. I wasn't prepared, so when I'm not prepared, don't have a topic, I end up just rant and random. I don't know if it, in 1 hour rant, and I don't know if you find it great relative to my other talk shows, or you find it not as good. I don't know, so you have to tell me. So let's see what are the other comments. Okay, so we should shut down in a minute, in a few minutes. Track Vegeta says, I have 3 expos. Fantastic. Talent Kekma. Are you on Discord? Are you on Discord? Yes. So Yusuf, yes. So Otrebla Blotre says, do you like Zig language? What do you think about Rose and Go? I don't know what is the Zig language. So Nose says, why don't you like Topre switches? From what I hear, it's a combination of rubber dome and a mechanical switch. That's correct. So Topre switch is actually just a rubber dome. Okay, so we close that. So open. So Topre switch. Topre switch is just rubber dome. Okay, the mechanism, the key field mechanism is a rubber dome, and you can see it here. So I have a video here. It doesn't play. Okay, sucks. So you have to, it doesn't play. You have to, what? Okay. Open in Chrome. So now it plays in Google Chrome, not in Vivaldi. Okay, let me show you some of the other things sucks. So you can open in Firefox. Okay, the video, you cannot play this in Firefox. The video is this one, MP4. You cannot play in Firefox, but let's show. So it plays in Google Chrome. Okay. So you can see that is the Topre switch. That's the Robodome. That is where the key field came from. So, you know, if you ask these people, the Topre switch fans, they'll say it's a better Robodome. You know, unlike the typical Robodome, this is just better and feels better than other mechanical switches. I disagree. It's to me it's hard. Then you have the hit button problem. I don't like it. Okay, that's it. So patent expired. You know, their Topre switch, apparently their patent also expired. So now you have clones. You have China cheapo clone. So this one. So from what I read, this one is also fantastic. Lisp. Okay, it's using the, you know, the Topre switch. The Topre is actually a trademarked name. I believe it's a trademarked name for this switch. Is technically called capacitance switch. Okay, so it's because it's the electronic aspect of the switch is not based on contact, but rather on capacitance. So do I have a, so there's no contact between electronic poles. So anyway, so technically it's called capacitance switch. Okay, electrocapacitive. So anyway, this Chinese cheapo makes it, but however, it doesn't feel like Topre. It's much feels like linear. That's what I hear. So anyway, bye.